Hello, how are
How are
you?
you? I'm
Ah,
great. It's New Year.
you're looking very
You know,
wintry. You're looking very wintry in
oh,
your
it's cold. It's cold.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I
Okay.
just had to spend some time in Florida for a client, and now I
Oh,
come back to DC and
my
it's
heart bleeds.
25 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, it's
So okay,
chilly.
okay. Well, UK members will appreciate that. I just spent a couple of days in Birmingham, which for UK members will they'll be able to see that they'll be able to sort of see that comparison and understand how I have zero sympathy for your trip.
Fine, fine, fine. I didn't ask for it. I didn't ask for it. But this is the season where clients most often go to the
Mm.
warmer venues for their board meetings, for their retreats. And so, yeah, I think I have Florida, San Diego, Phoenix. That's kind of the first trips of the year. And then I get to come
Oh.
home and have my climate equilibrium off because of that. But so what the heck are we going to talk about today?
You tell me. I'm a bit bursting with not what am I bursting with? Angst, anxiety. I don't
Grumpiness?
know, grumpiness. And I said I was, I don't want to be the grumpy one. But I am today. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling really angsty today. Yeah. So,
So,
take that and run with it.
all right. So you wear your heart on your sleeve. And
Hmm.
I love that about you. Your clients appreciate your sincerity and how much you put of yourself into things. I think on the other hand, my clients appreciate kind of my candor and
Mm.
I lean into it. I pull no punches. I
Hmm.
say what needs to be said. People don't hire me to be the yes man, to just rubber stamp status quo. And I feel like this year really needs to be about unbridled candor.
Okay.
I just came off a group and they needed to be told. They needed to be told that board leadership, if you're a member of the board, it's not about you, it's not about your ego, it's about the mission, it's about the members, and they needed a few band-aids ripped off and they actually
Hmm.
responded really really well.
Good.
And
Good.
I think, as this sounds wrong, but as soft as we've all become and as PC as everything has needed to be, I think the pendulum somewhat swings. And now we need to be honest with ourselves, with our leadership, with our members, with our staff. And
Hmm.
it's
It's
not
in
always going to be comfortable.
Interesting. I'm not sure I'd ever equate you and softness.
How dare
Because,
you?
well,
How dare you?
I've stood next to you, I've presented with you many times, and I don't think I'd ever say, "Oh, she's too soft. She's too soft on the room."
No, no. Well, I mean, one of my favorite, there's a event kind of management and advisory consultancy. They're called Velvet Chainsaw. It's my favorite
Oh,
company name.
nice.
My favorite
Oh,
company name ever. So
I
shout
would
out to Velvet Chainsaw.
if
Um,
I would steal that if they didn't
I
own it.
know,
I
I
would
love
have
it.
that.
I
Oh my
love it.
God, yeah. Hmm.
So I think we need a little chainsaw this year, and I'm finding clients reacting better and better to some of the outside perspective, and it not always. I mean, you and I both know that sometimes you're hired and brought in to be the sacrificial lamb or to say things that might be necessary, but that are then
Yeah.
contrary to where the organization is ready to go, and so you get kind of shut down.
Yeah, and
um
I think that is why I am angsty today. I am angsty because I've been experiencing some of that recently. It's interesting you say we're brought in because they want your clients want candor. They appreciate we take we we tell it the way it is because our professional integrity demands that we do that.
right.
What's the point in paying me to come in, paying you to come in for us just to keep telling you, what little white lies to make you feel better? We don't do that.
Right.
But what happens when I think someone does bring you in and wants you to be the yes person, wants you to be the tell them what they want to hear? Because that's where I'm at the moment, this
Yeah.
week, is somebody's clearly brought me in, transpires that they want me to be their yes man.
They want your expertise to lend credibility to the path they had already chosen.
Yes.
This is what you're saying. And you don't agree with that path.
I don't agree with that path. Um,
Hmm.
I
Interesting.
don't agree
So
with that
is
part.
this is kind of professional ethics? This is consultancy, the art and science of consultancy. Um, that's interesting challenge. Especially if they don't know that you know that
Oh, they
that's
know.
what they want.
They
Oh, they
know.
know that you know that they know.
Oh, we all know. We all know about everything. Yeah, so, but I've got, yeah, there's a situation. It transpires that I've been brought in simply to, as you say, give credence to their ideas.
Yeah.
But their ideas are, in my opinion,
Shit.
mixed. Yeah, yeah, I was going to say yes, yes, they are horse manure. They are, they're confused, they're mixed, they're not clear, and I have felt compelled to say, look, guys, actually, there's actually many different issues around this piece that we need to address before we can address this idea. And by the way, your idea is rubbish. And
Wait a minute.
that manifests now as this has manifested as this awful tension, and but because they haven't liked what I've had to say to them. And I've not done it in a nasty way. I'm not like you. I'm nice to people when I say things, when I'm honest with them, which I always
You
am,
do it gently.
I
So
do it
your
in a
ideas are
constructive
shit,
way.
but you do it gently.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, we're not unique in this struggle. I mean, think how many times as a chief executive or a senior staff member, you were put in this same position with your board. You don't agree with where they want to go. You don't
Yeah.
agree with their justifications or their reasoning or whatever it may be.
Mm.
And yet you are leading from behind. It is a
Uh,
member driven organization, it's their
mm.
organization.
Mm.
And how do you turn that around? I find I lead with candor. And then if it doesn't work, I just start asking a lot of questions.
Mm.
Why do you want that? What is your justification? Where do you think that's going to take us as an organization?
Oh,
Can
oh,
you
oh, that's just, I think you're so naive there, Elisa. You're so naive because I followed that approach recently. The person I was talking to turned around and said, "Hey, that's what we brought you in to tell us." So it's like, oh my God, clearly I'm just your whipping boy.
Well, and I think each consultant in our time has a story of being that sacrificial lamb.
Ah, but
But
it's not right. It's not right. Don't bring
hey,
me into that. I don't want to.
welcome to the naive club.
Do you ever
You're
do?
now a
Thank you.
second
Thank you.
member.
Honorary president. I'm a first niner. Or I will be. Uh, don't tell me that you ever, when you brought in consultants, when you were working in the sector as a staffer, you didn't bring in consultants to be a sacrificial lamb. You
No, of
didn't.
course not.
I didn't.
Of
I
course
never.
not.
No. So why is it? Why? I guess
It's
is it
not that it's not
okay?
right. Of course it's not right, but it happens.
Yeah, but
And, not every client is forever. I think that's the beauty of consultancy is we get to come in and be honest. Not all staff, not all chief executives have the political capital to be as honest as is necessary in some cases.
mm,
But these are termed engagements and you don't have to work with them forever. You give the best you can and you wish them well. You can't save everyone.
okay. Talk to me about leading with candor. Then talk to me about.
Oh, are you over this? Your therapy
Oh
session,
no,
your
no,
venting
no,
is
I'm not
over?
over it. No, crikey, no, no. This is like a 10-part series that's gonna come back to until this client and I have parted ways. This is gonna go on and on and on.
Are they going to
Um,
listen and know that you're talking about them?
they don't even think I know anything about membership. Never mind, I don't mind I host a podcast about membership. My God, oh, you know what?
What did they hire you for again?
Exactly, exactly. Honestly, I'm just eye candy. I swear to God, I'm just eye candy. That's when, and I don't blame them for that. I don't, that's fair enough.
I don't.
Yeah, no, yeah, no. I just needed to get that off my chest that,
Okay,
I
well,
may
we're
be a
all here for you.
consultant,
I
but
mean,
I'm human as well. It's
the entire
difficult.
listening audience is all just here for you.
It's difficult when your professional credentials and your professional integrity are undermined like that. You get that. You understand that. And
That
it,
never happens to me.
right, it doesn't. Right, it doesn't. Only once a week when we record this pod.
Jeez, am I your whipping boy today? Grumpy and mean. You're supposed to be the nice one.
Talk to me about leading with candor then.
It was difficult as a staff person because I didn't always have the authority or the clearance or the political capital to
Yeah.
say what I felt needed to be said. People would come to me asking me for my true opinion because they know they would get it. But
Mm.
then when it didn't align with, the higher ups or plans that were already set,
Yeah.
I had to back down. Now, as a consultant, I think that it's my superpower. It's my superpower, and it's about how you deliver it. It's about how you then bridge to the what's next, and how do we make this constructive, and how do we move forward. But I more often these days have people come to me and say, I really appreciate your approach. I really
Yeah.
appreciate
Hmm.
that honesty. And I just wonder if it's somewhat cultural in that we have become we started sugarcoating everything. We got kind of back to the everyone gets a trophy world, and maybe we're
Did
swinging the
we?
pendulum. Do you not have that? Do you not have the everyone gets a trophy challenge
Oh
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
UK?
No, I understand what I understand that absolutely. But I just am wondering if I've seen that that
Well, I mean,
approach.
everything's become so politically correct. You can't talk to your family at Thanksgiving dinner about what you really think.
Oh, I
Everyone's
understand what you're
so kind of
saying, right?
quiet and divided and PC that
Got this
we've
artificial
forgotten.
harmony, if you like.
Right,
There's an
we've
artificial harmony.
exactly. And I love
Hmm.
that phrase, artificial harmony. Yeah, we've forgotten how to be honest with each other.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and doing so, constructive candor, that's kind of a cliche now, but we've forgotten how to be honest when it's necessary in a productive way, not just to shoot people down, not to just be right or be the loudest, but to think organizationally, to think to the mission,
yeah,
to think to the
yeah.
membership. Um,
And I think that's as you're talking, I'm thinking, to go back to my therapy session, I'm thinking, yeah, this piece that I'm dealing with at the moment, this issue I'm dealing with at the moment, I think it is about there's a fear of conflict, a fear of a fear of honesty because of what the ramifications of that may lead to.
yeah,
Yeah, I think there is a lot of that. There's a lot to be said about that kind of sort of simmering beneath the beneath the surface, this worry that if we're always all of us are going to be found out, and it's going to lead to dire consequences, and that is a fair sort of, I think that is a fair sort of way of looking at it. I see that a
yeah.
lot actually.
Well, we just talked recently about the imposter phenomenon.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of new chief executives
Mm.
that have taken the position and risen to their new roles in the last 2 to 3 years.
Hmm.
And how difficult is it to say what needs to be said when
Yeah.
you're the new executive, maybe when you're replacing someone who's been there for decades, you're filling very large
Hmm.
shoes,
Hmm.
you're the
Hmm.
youngest in the room, you're the youngest sitting around the board table, you're not from that industry. So I think learning how to be honest, and maybe it is bringing someone in from the outside who can rip off the band-aid, and then you the executive offer the solution.
100%. Absolutely. I was about to say the same, very much the same thing. It's like, well, and in that scenario, use the tools that you've got available to you as a new executive or an experienced exec. Use the tools. Absolutely lean on consultants like us and say, I'm struggling with this for this, that, and the other reason. Can you help me? But which is perfectly reasonable, entirely understandable, and extremely valid. Don't put me out there under false pretenses to be your blocker Um, because again, 4 months into a gig is I've suddenly realized what I am,
Yeah.
and it's not, and it's quite dispirit. You'll appreciate this. It's dis.
Of course, I
I
do.
know you say, put on my full metal jacket and get on with it. But the reality is, it is dispiriting to realize that you're there just to be a shield, not to add any material value other than to protect someone. And
Yeah.
that's not a good place to be. I don't like that. I don't like
It's
that.
not, but that's part of I mean, I say that to my clients. I say, I'm your human shield. I will protect you.
Uh, that's a
That's
different thing. That's a different thing, though. If someone says to me, I need you to give me cover, I need ground cover, I need you to do it for me. Yeah, totally. But I'm talking about under false pretenses, and then suddenly I realize
sure.
after
If it's a
quite,
manipulation
it's
and if it's
manipulation. That's the word. Exactly. I feel manipulated. I feel used and abused. And I know you're laughing, but
I'm not
you
laughing.
know,
I
I
empathize
am a
and I'm
sensitive soul. I have
you do.
feelings,
You do.
and
You're the nice one, you're the gentle one, and that's your superpower.
it's had a
That's
massive
your
impact on
superpower.
me. It's had a massive impact on me. I haven't slept for days and days and days now because of it. And I
Oh,
think people, oh, nothing. Oh, nothing, princess, right? You're the one complaining about the cold. I'm the one who's got real problems.
jeez. All right. If you need me to be your human shield, do you need me to be your human shield? Do you want
I
me to
need you to
write
do
a
that
strong
for me.
letter?
I
Do you
need
want me
you
to make a
to
phone
put to
call?
me, dear Andrew, get over it.
I just, there's so many perspectives to this. And I think about the consultant perspective. I think about the staff executive perspective. I think about board members and being honest with each other, or a junior board member being honest with a chairperson, or a committee trying to be honest with a board. There's so many layers of this. And the mutual respect, professional respect is a layer of this. The human, the soft skills of it are something different. But so often I find the deeper the mess, the farther away people are from the mission.
Oh yes,
And
100%, 100%.
and the more it's become about them. I mean, I lead every board leadership program I host these days. I start with the rule number one. It's not about you.
Mm,
Rule number
mm-hmm,
two,
mm-hmm,
refer to rule number one.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, 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 completely.
It's it's the seed of all issues when it's become personal, when it's become prideful, when it's become ego driven, when it's become, you know, arrogant, when it's become all these things that it's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
Personal agendas, manipulation. It leads to all the drama. I'm also watching Severance, so I'm in a little I'm in a weird place in terms of workplace
Oh.
culture. And
Oh, okay. Okay. You're not caught up on that yet, are you? All right. That's
I
interesting.
haven't started season two. I just finished season one.
Hang on, Severance.
Yeah.
Oh, which one is it? Oh, Severance. Is that the one where they like forget that they're real people and they just work in an office
Yeah,
all the
right.
time and they
Right.
don't have any memory of the outside world?
Correct.
I thought it was, sorry, I thought you were meaning Succession.
No, no, no.
Because I thought that's odd because it's like her entire playbook is brought out of Succession. So,
You know
uh,
what? I haven't watched it, so that is a low blow, I'm sure. I'm sure I will come to know how big of an insult that was, because I
no,
haven't even
it
watched the
was
show
not
yet.
an insult. It was not at all. In fact, people who know me, people who know you will know that I mean that as a full-on compliment.
We're not going to cuss anymore in this episode, right?
I can't afford to keep paying the royalties for the beeps to blank you out, honestly.
All right. So, takeaways.
For me, I absolutely agree that honesty. We talk a lot about trust-based environments. I did talk about honesty-based leadership, honesty-based relationships.
Yeah.
For me, it's absolutely crucial. I recognize that
But when appropriate, you don't
when
have to be honest about everything all the time. You don't have to offer unnecessary honesty. That drives wedges.
no,
That,
yeah, I understand what you mean. Absolutely,
I
I
don't have to
understand what you
tell you
mean. Yeah.
whether or not I like that shirt.
Let me rephrase. You're horrible. That was cheap. That was cheap. Honestly, you were just
Was
scraping the
it?
bottom of the barrel there. You really were. Honestly.
You're still pinging me about being cold. So let's
S-
raise the level of all of this.
All right. In honesty, let me rephrase that then. Integrity.
There you go.
Integrity. Right now, I don't feel that this particular client has any integrity, professional integrity, and that's a
Okay.
problem for me.
Okay.
The clients demand that from us, and I demand it from clients. From here on
Okay.
in, that's for me.
Absolutely.
If you're not demonstrating integrity, then I don't care.
So
It's as simple
how
as that.
what's your exit strategy? I mean, how do you reconcile this?
I just resign from the gig
Oh,
and
okay. Well,
say, deal
I
with
don't know
it.
where you are in the process, and maybe for our consultant, industry partner listeners and consultant listeners, maybe there's a right answer to this.
Well, I mean, I
Refer
think
to
yeah. I mean, yeah. Resign from the gig is the last straw. Obviously, it's always going to be the last thing you do. I think those relationships that are founded around honesty and integrity are absolutely critical, and we talk about them internally. We talk about the need at the leadership level between your board and your senior executive, and the need for that. Those relationships need to be absolutely solid and trusting and honest to succeed. The same is equally true throughout your staff base. The same is equally true in terms of the providers, suppliers, consultants, and specialists that you bring into the organization. I think it's really important that, yes, we're a resource. Yes, we have the luxury of not being, of not necessarily having the ramifications of disruption that perhaps you have if you're within the organization. Um,
right. You
but
don't want to
none,
go in
but
and throw grenades. You don't want to
hell
go
no,
in.
absolutely not, absolutely not. But I think it's really important that quite, that we, and this goes right back to, I think, a conversation that, well, I know perhaps offline you've heard me griping about this constantly. Um, this is the recognition that I'm an association professional. You're an association professional. I know as much, if not more, than some people about the membership world. And so don't just I'm not a tool, I'm a resource, but I'm not, just it's
You're a
really
person. You're a human.
it's really great. Well, and I'm a professional and I know what I'm talking about, so treat me with a bit of respect,
Gotcha.
as you would expect me to do to you.
Absolutely. So I'm going to send you an invoice for this period of time
No
for
problem at
therapy,
all. No problem at all.
and
Absolutely fine. No,
we'll have
I
to get back to our audience with how this goes.
I'm going to
And
do a
and
crowd fundraiser. If you'd like to contribute to my fund to pay Elisa's extortionate bills, that's absolutely fine. No problem at all. But for everyone who's listening, I charge half price. So.
this has gone off the rails. Like we're going to have to really focus this year.
I'm in a funk. That's the bottom line. I'm in a funk. We all get there, dear listener. I'm sure you've been in a funk many times before. I'm in a funk and I don't like it. And I'm sharing it with my community.
There you go. This is
And,
a safe place. This is a safe
exactly.
place.
Hmm.
And good days, bad days, otherwise, you can come to Association Transformation, and we'll give you that virtual hug. We'll build you up. We'll listen. What is that
I'm
not
sorry.
right?
I don't remember the virtual hug and building up bit. Is that, do I pay extra for that? Or does
Yes,
that, yeah,
it's a lot
yes.
extra. It's a lot extra. But I do want to bring this back to the point of association transformation, and that's having the hard conversations.
Hmm.
That's giving voice to staff challenges and board challenges that may not get an article written about them, or may be
Yeah.
considered too negative to select as a speaking session at a conference. We need.
Not that, not that we're bitter or that we've done put in for any of that.
I'm not bitter. I just have a long memory. I have a long memory. That's all.
Indeed, you do.
But as much as we need honesty, we need boundaries,
Yeah.
and as much as
Hmm.
we need
Hmm.
ethics and professionalism, we need empathy.
Yes. Hmm.
So I don't envy you and the position that you're in currently with this client, and I hope it doesn't take away your confidence in being candid with future clients. I
Yeah,
don't want
yeah.
to having been burned on the stove. I don't want you to never cook again, you
Oh, I
know.
like that. I like that. But it's true. It's true because like I've been sat awake thinking it does it. And you know what it like. You're always the only person awake at 2 o'clock in the morning, and all your demons are lying there next to you. And
This is
it
getting
is
really dark.
no, it's not. It's just it is easy to think. Oh, crikey, I must be doing it all wrong. Because clearly, I've yeah, and it is a challenge. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you what you're
No, you're
saying.
going to
Thank
cook
you.
again. The kitchen is open. People need us. People need you. And I say this for chief executives as well.
Yes.
You may be turning over a board. It's early in the year. You may be turning over a board. Your previous board burned you, abused you, was not productive, not professional, not you know, good leaders. And I
Mm.
hope your new board is what you need. Don't let previous bad boards burn you and keep you from cooking again. um, Give it a fresh start, and be honest and candid when appropriate, and don't second guess yourself. Don't second guess yourself, and don't compromise yourself.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I don't know. We have to be done with therapy now. I'm You're getting me in a funk.
Sorry.
All right, virtual hug, safe place. We're listening. If you want to tackle something
Yeah.
anonymously, shoot us an email on associationtransformation.org. There's a contact form there. We're happy to
Hmm.
talk about situations. We're happy to talk about scenarios, issues, and we can tackle those without using names, without using organizations, and try to get you some external perspective, some suggestions, advice. So if you're going through some weird things, you're dealing with unethical leaders, boards that aren't doing what they need to do, chief executives who are manipulating. I don't know. Why do we get focused on all the bad stuff?
Because it's the bad stuff that affects us the most, unfortunately.
Yeah,
We're
true.
I mean, let's be fair, we're not really very good in this industry celebrating ourselves and our success. It's always kind
No,
of not maybe
because we
not
give that to
frowned
the
upon.
members. We give
Well,
that to the
exactly,
board, to the members.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your enterprise and endeavor. Wow, well done, you guys. But and then when things go
They get
wrong,
the
it
credit,
does
we
come
get the
back to
blame.
us.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the bad things that affect us. It is. It's the bad things to stop us. I don't. If I have a great day, I sleep like a baby. I just need feeding 2 or 3 times a night. That's all. But yeah, it's the bad things that affect us. So let's not pretend the bad things aren't out there because
Okay. All right.
that's what. Yeah, that's
All
it's
right, we will be
important.
the safe harbor. We will be the safe harbor for those conversations that need to be had. We'll commit to honesty
Yeah.
and be that place. So association transformation nation or listeners or world, or what are we calling our who are our Swifties? What are we calling our people?
Empire.
The association transformation empire. That's
Empire.
very that's very British of you.
Well, I
That's
was going
very
to say it's
British.
very Star Wars of me, but
Oh, well,
yeah, yeah. Oh well, no, it's Star Wars. You're on board.
I'm on, but I don't that's not what came to mind first, but we'll have to work on that. Let's work on that, figure out
Okay.
what we call our listeners. And until next time, put your members and your mission first.